Hello everyone, this is Virtual, and this is the Monolite Metro, Monolite's next quote-unquote game. This is mainly just going to be a short review of the game and sort of just what it is and, what it has to offer. As you may have, or what I was implying earlier, this game isn't really a game. It's more so a randomized teleporter, mainly focused on introducing players to Roblox core games they may not have known about or discovered yet. There are a few things that aren't in game at the moment because of HTTP shenanigans that I have unfortunately not been able to figure out yet, but hopefully this is enough for now that once I do implement that, it'll help out, I guess. So this small area is where you will spawn. This is the small lobby. Over here you've got ticketing. You can talk to this guy. It's just Todd. And you can ask him these 3 different questions. This is modular, so if I do add more questions, it'll show up here. So you can just ask him like that, and he'll tell you what the game is about, for example. And yeah, as he just said here, there's currently 36 different core games inside the roster, or the quote-unquote list. More will be added as time comes and when people give the links to me. But what's currently in the roster are games I'm familiar with and that I know about. There probably will be some sort of prerequisite that I will put in place once I do have the form open for people to submit it, just so we don't have low quality games in the roster. And so people are being introduced to quality games instead of the one-offs. Down here is just the quote-unquote exit. Doesn't really go anywhere as of now, but eventually it's going to go up to the Light Park, which is basically just going to be Monolite's main event place, I guess you could say. Quote-unquote event place. It's probably just going to be like an outside park. But yeah, that's not not in place yet, so it's just eventually, as it says there. And then yeah, just short staircase. Fake elevator. Seating. And down there's the metro. Bathrooms that are closed. You enter from here. Cool thing about these is that you can actually stand in them and they will not close as long as you're within the boundaries of them. Okay, well, it's supposed to. I don't know why it's... Oh, wait, no, it's probably because... Yeah, okay. The detection brick's, like, right here. So if you're... Yeah, see, it's staying open. But as soon as I move away, it'll close. Yep. Here's the metro station itself. You got 2 platforms. This one is going to HIURL on line E. And this one is going to PBCC by the looks of it. Yep. And it's on line B. Now, the lines do have some sort of significance. The way that they're supposed to work is via this designation, where line B, for example, are games that are 6 years or older. The economy line, or line E, is basically just games that don't fit any of the above categories. And then line D, for example, is the recently updated line, or the new ones. Line A and C are currently out of service simply because those require HTTP requests to work as intended. So hopefully I can get that in place within a reasonable time frame or sooner or later. And then, yeah. This one's line E again, and this one's also a line E. I've also got some sort of like quote-unquote timetable set up. So as you can see, line D right now is out of service because we're outside of its operating hours. I can't quite remember what the operating hours for it are, but eventually that indicator will turn green and then the line will be in service again. But as of now, we've only got line B and E running at the moment. So yeah, you can climb onto these trains and it'll basically just straight up teleport you. If it does fail for whatever reason, I also have error handling set up, or a basic format of it at least, where if it detects that teleport has failed, it'll just bring you back here and then give you a little heads up saying like, hey, teleport failed. One thing you actually will notice almost immediately is that this game is locked in first person, but if you want to unlock your mouse, you just hit Q. And if you don't immediately know that keybind, it's fine. After 30 seconds of being in the game, it'll let you know down here what the keybind for unlocking the mouse is, because that's most likely what people are going to be after. Or if you want a refresher, you can just go up here and click this, and it'll tell you again. And some analog clocks. Oh yeah, and then there's also this screen upstairs as well. It's just the spotlight breaking news. All these do is sort of just poke fun at some core games of the community and just like funny quirks that they have. For example, the Nedia game has this. I think the next one is HPO, if I'm correct. Nope, this is Zan's, okay. But there's currently, I think, 5 or 6 that it cycles through. More will be added as time comes and people give me suggestions. But anyway, if we go into this elevator and click this button, we'll be taken downstairs to the cafe. This elevator was actually supposed to be part of the Anastamras renovation update, but since that ended up not happening, it's been moved over here. It's actually going to be the first public game that uses the new models. This is loud. And maybe I have to turn the volume down on that. But, yeah, there's another screen showing that off. Another NPC down here that you can chat to. This one's named Grace. And yeah, same spiel as with Todd. You have 3 dialogue options at the moment. And then, yeah, 3 dialogue options. More will be added as time comes. And eventually I do want to get this menu working where you can just select an item and it'll give it to you. As of now, it's just for show, and this is mainly just going to be like a probably the main hangout spot. This segment display does work, or yeah, it works. So if a player uses the trams to move to a different game, it'll count up. This one on the right here currently does not work because it again requires HTTP shenanigans. And while I have gone to work locally, it unfortunately doesn't work through Roblox due to some certification issues. But we'll get it working eventually if I can get that figured out. Down here is also the service tunnel access, but it's currently locked because there are things I have not yet implemented, or I'm not going to implement until a later date. Yeah, that's basically the entire map, honestly. You can go back up to the main platform, and I'll show off the teleportation process, I guess. Before we do that, though, your leaderboard will show a commutes value next to your name, and that basically just shows how many times you've used the tram system. So every time you use the tram to teleport to a game, it counts up by 1. And once you have enough points, it actually correlates to a name tag above your head, as seen here. Now this one is this one's on constantly for me simply because I own the game. But after certain thresholds, you'll get tags like commuter, or train spotter above your head, and it actually also shows up in your chat window next to your name, like that. So now we'll show you off. Now we'll show off how the teleportation works, I guess. Actually, before I do that, show off these values here. These 3 are also tied to the HTTP thing, unfortunately. So a lot of the data is meant to sort of help players get a basic oversight of a game's economy. Or not really economy, like, I don't know, the nature of it. So it'll eventually tell you how many players are currently playing, how many visits the game has, the age is the age of the game, and then the average Game Pass price, which would be averaged out across all the passes it does have. So that'll generally just give you an insight into what the game looks like from a glance. Yeah, line D, okay. That means it's been updated recently. So we'll use GNRI as the teleportation to show off what the teleportation process looks like, I guess. But if you get in here, I have yet to block this area off on, actually, because the physics or the collision doesn't allow me to actually walk through here. Well, sometimes you can, but in most cases you can't. It has to do with how collision is set up for these models. But yeah. Move about in here as well. That took way too long to figure out, but as you can see, this monorail is providing service to this game. Stand by for teleport. And yeah, just a little disclaimer that the teleport will fail if you're banned. And there you go. As you can see, the game successfully teleported me to GNRI. Besides the HTTP stuff that needs to be figured out, the game is mainly ready to go, as in the teleport place, so you'll be able to join and hang out with people while you wait for trams or use the tram system. It's not really meant to have that big of a gameplay loop, honestly, but honestly I think it's neat to have another teleporter game, especially one for teleporting you to random core games, because I haven't seen one of those yet, so I thought this was a cool way of doing that. I also need something to sort of take my mind off of RRL and stuff like that, because I don't know, I tend to put more on my plate than I can eat, so I think this was a nice way to just recollect my thoughts and make something. But anyway, that's everything I have to really show today. This game is basically ready to go, so it'll most likely launch on the 1st of March or earlier. Probably earlier, because I've got vacation plans for the 1st of March. So, yeah. Expect us to be out soon. Thank you for watching.